Yo, welcome back everybody. I know it's been a while, but I'm here, okay? Today's gonna be a little different video. I'm gonna be making a recycler just like this. However, I'm usually filming the intro after the fact that I make it. Today, I'm gonna be making it with you, okay? We're gonna be going step by step throughout the process. I'm usually making these by hand, but today I'm actually gonna make it with the lathe. It's gonna be a little different for me, but the assembly is basically the same, and I'm gonna go through it for you guys. If you're a new artist, this might help you out. Stick around and watch it. If you're just interested in watching me make this thing, stick around and watch. I love you, okay? It's gonna be a good one. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first step, I'm gonna be using this 38mm tubing for the bottom section right here and the top section. Alright, I usually do this by hand, like I said, but since I got the lathe, why not put it to use, make it more precise, more clean, which is the goal, right? Always get better. Alright, so here we go. Alright, we're back. You saw me use the lathe. What you saw me basically do is I got that big tube and I split sections, right? I made two large sections, one for the bottom and one for the top. Alright? One's gonna be where the water gets, where the water is hold. Where one is gonna be where the water is at, and then the top is gonna be where the water recycles. Alright, moving forward. And boom. Alright. I finally got the bottom part. Phew! Alright, so I got the bottom part. It was a mission, okay? I'm learning how to use the lathe. I've never shaped the bottom like that of the recycler on a lathe. So it took me 2 tries. Second time, things I noticed. Is it easier? Yeah, it's easier. I know it's gonna be easier once I learn how to use this thing perfectly. Less tiring for sure. My arms are not tired. I'm I'm chilling, you know. I'm just looking at the glass spin. I'm not spinning it myself, so I'm not straining myself, which is amazing. You know, I've been doing this for 15 years now. Well, close to 15 years, and I needed this for the long term. You know, I don't see myself 60, 70 years old spinning glass. The lathe is the future, okay? That's why it's so important to learn this thing. So I'm gonna continue on. Now I'm gonna do the top part. Since I had to do it again, I had to remake the section, and I noticed that this section was a lot more dirtier. So always take the time to clean your glass. Trust me, I was not the guy to say that before, but it's true. You gotta clean your glass, bro. It makes such a huge difference when you're working with it. Look at that, nice. Now it's nice and ready. So now I'm gonna make this part. It's gonna be the top part here. You see how it's like the cake style? I'm gonna make it with this section. Hopefully with the lathe I could do it a lot cleaner and a lot more uniform. I mean, by hand I could get it really clean, but there's times that, you know, I had to do it 3 or 4 times to get it perfect. Hopefully in the lathe I can minimize that, and, you know, in the long run get cleaner, right? You know, the point is to get better every day. All right, so here we go. Alright, so I made the top part. It was so weird doing it on the lathe, but I feel like long term it's gonna be really good. I like it. Alright, let's move on. Alright, the next step is I gotta make the uptakes, which is the two tubes going up, and the drain, which is the tube going down. I'm just gonna prep out some tubes, and then I'm gonna assemble it. I'm gonna teach you guys how I do the Jesus seal. You see how that seal is? Both of them. That's called the Jesus seal because only Jesus could do it. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, now that I got the three, I'm gonna start assembling. Alright, so my camera died yesterday when I was making this one, and since it was basically the middle of the day and I didn't want to continue making this one off camera because I'm making the video for you guys to show you guys how I'm making this one, I stopped working on it, right? And I noticed when I stopped working on it that it's really not the shape that I usually make. And since this is a custom for a customer that requested my shape, I went ahead and made this one off camera. What this one is made completely by hand, which is usually my shape. Check out the chameleon. I made this one off camera when my camera died yesterday, and this one I'm gonna continue today. Show you how to do the Jesus seal, how I do that bend, and how I seal it. You see how it's closed? It's gonna end up being connected on that top part. I'll show you how I do that. Let's get into it. All right, so this is the Jesus seal. You see how this end is closed? And then this end is closed, and then the side here is closed as well. I'm gonna bend it, and I'm actually gonna weld these two together and make an open space in between both of those, so it could, for the water to flow, just like here. On this side, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's called the Jesus seal. Okay, I'm gonna do that now. It's kind of confusing to explain, but I'm gonna do it. I can't talk while I do it, so if I have to explain anything, I'll probably do it on a voiceover. Okay, so here it goes. Alright, so there we go. You see how I got it connected now? You see how it's welded together, both sides? Now I'm just going to clean it up and make it look pretty. Alright, that went pretty good, right? That was the first time I ever did a Jesus seal on camera. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I was looking on YouTube to see if you guys, if there's actually any other videos on the Jesus seal, and there actually is. There's an artist called Powerful Jack. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he actually shows how to do that with more in depth than this video. So if you want more information, go to that one. I'm just showing you how I'm building this recycler. But these are the steps I go, and I'm gonna continue on. I learned a long time ago. There was no videos when I learned. I just did it from someone explaining that it was possible. Another artist, I forgot who told me. I think it was probably Bradley Miller. And I just figured it out. I just had to figure it out. There was no other way. Thankfully, now in this age, we have video, and you know, you guys can learn. So I'm gonna continue. All right, here's the 14 millimeter fitting for the recycler. I'm gonna continue now. I'm gonna put the down stem, then attach this, and then make the chameleon for the back, and then continue. All right, now this is the down stem. It's gonna go in just like that. Whoop. 3 holes. I don't know if you can see that. 2 holes. 3-hole perk. It's gonna go in there. Let's move on. Honestly, I forgot to hit record of me doing it, but check it out. Now I gotta make the chameleon. That was fun. Now I gotta put the chameleon. Now I gotta put the chameleon on it. Now I'm gonna add a little bridge right here, but I'm gonna put it in the kiln for now. So check that out. It's dope. All right. The bridge and the thing. Now I put it in the kiln, and I'm gonna take off all the bloom, take off all the bridges. Be ready. All right, so it's 2 in the morning right now. I didn't finish yesterday, so I gotta finish today. That's how it goes. All right, so here it is. I basically finished it yesterday. I took off all the bridges, fire polished everything. The only thing I gotta do now is that you see like there's like this bloom or like haze around it. I'm gonna take that off with the fire. That's all I gotta do. I'm gonna fire it up, take off all that bloom, and then later well, not later, right after, I'm gonna put a handle on here and take off the bottom and be able to flatten the bottom nice and perfect. So let's get into it before it gets cold. Alright, now I gotta put the handle on there. Honestly, I bent the neck already. I usually don't bend the neck at this point because I want it to be straight to be able to flatten the bottom. But yesterday, I kind of did it because I wanted to go eat and I wasn't thinking. So now I gotta do this. Alright, I just finished the piece. It's currently 3:47 in the morning. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around the video all the way to the end, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. It really helps me out. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the kiln. I'm gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna go sleep. When in the morning, when I take it out, I'll get some nice shots for you guys. I'll put it in the end of this video so you guys can see the function and all that stuff. Yeah, hit that like again, subscribe. I love y'all. Stick around for the next one.